The ocean was calm, the sky flawless, and no one imagined the horizon itself would rise against them.
It began as an ordinary afternoon, bright and weightless, suspended in the illusion of perfect safety. Laughter carried across open water, unaware that something vast was already moving beneath the surface. At first, it looked like a trick of light. Pew, a dark seam cutting across the far horizon. On the bridge, instruments registered faint irregularities that did not match the calm sea outside.
Multiple contacts appeared where open water should have been empty, converging without identification.
The distant seam grew heavier, rising in a way no swell ever should.
Someone noticed the horizon bending, as if the sea itself had started to stand.
The flat blue line was no longer flat. It was lifting into a wall of shadow.
Trained eyes recognized the distortion and understood that seconds were shrinking.
Deep within the vessel, systems reacted to pressure shifts rising from below. What had been a line was now a vertical mass, swallowing the sunlight behind it.
Before impact, the ship began to shudder, as though sensing the force approaching.
Red alert. All sections, brace for impact.
Orders moved through steel corridors faster than fear could fully form.
The wave was taller than the highest deck, a moving cliff, advancing without hesitation.
People ran not from rain or wind, but from height itself rushing toward them.
Gravity shifted under their feet as the vessel angled toward the sky.
The ocean struck not as a crash, but as a sustained upward force, lifting thousands of tons. Inside, balance dissolved, and every fixed object became uncertain. Steel and glass flexed under hydraulic weight that defied ordinary storm behavior.
The wall of water folded over the ship, wrapping it in shadow and force.
And as the first impact passed, another crest was already rising behind it.
The second wave approached at an angle, twisting the vessel as stabilizers fought to hold balance.
Water engulfed the bow again, hammering glass and metal with sustained hydraulic force. Compartment doors sealed automatically as lower decks began filling with rising seawater.
Stairwells turned into steep climbs as gravity shifted beneath thousands moving upward.
The ocean no longer resembled waves, but a shifting terrain of liquid ridges.
Instruments confirmed the disturbance was not singular, but part of a moving sequence. Instead of climbing smoothly, the vessel drove into the next formation head-on.
The impact reverberated through the structure, turning calm interiors into unstable terrain.
Reinforced glass bowed under crushing weight, holding only seconds before fracturing.
The ship leaned to port, holding at an angle that tested the limits of balance. Ballast pumps transferred seawater between tanks, countering the growing list with calculated precision.
After the peak, gravity reclaimed the hull, dropping thousands of tons into the trough below.
Propulsion faltered briefly in aerated water, before regaining resistance and thrust.
As the third crest weakened, officers searched the horizon for any sign of another vertical rise. The towering walls diminished into long, punishing swells that still carried enormous residual force. Below deck, teams assessed flooding levels, confirming that sealed compartments had prevented catastrophic spread.
Industrial pumps roared continuously, pushing back against seawater pressing from compromised sections.
Medical teams treated shock and minor injuries, while calm instructions steadied shaken passengers.
Priority transmission. Structural integrity failing due to extreme strain. Controlled flooding initiated in sections 3 through 5. Requesting immediate assistance.
Nearby ships altered course, closing distance as precaution rather than rescue.
Structural scans revealed deformation within elastic limits, a narrow margin between endurance and failure. With sunlight unchanged, the ocean appeared peaceful again, disguising the violence it had delivered. Broken fixtures and scattered debris drifted in the wake, quiet evidence of immense force. Stabilization systems balanced the vessel back to neutral alignment after sustained torsional stress.
Recorded anomalies were preserved, every second of data becoming crucial for future analysis.
Under reduced speed, the vessel continued forward, cautious yet structurally intact.
Shock settled into silence as adrenaline faded, and comprehension slowly replaced panic.
Engineers searched for microfractures, knowing cumulative fatigue could prove more dangerous than immediate impact. Beneath a clear sky of stars, the sea showed no trace of the vertical walls that had risen hours before.
At dawn, the vessel entered harbor waters, outwardly calm yet carrying the weight of what it had endured.
Tugboats guided the damaged liner inward, a precaution acknowledging stress hidden beneath polished steel. The
scored metal and warped plating revealed where hydraulic force had pressed close to structural limits. Survivors stepped ashore in silence, carrying images no vacation memory could erase. Officials reconstructed each minute, from first anomaly to final crest, searching for overlooked signals. The earliest distortions now appeared obvious in hindsight, subtle warnings lost within routine readings. Beneath the surface, divers confirmed no open breach, only flexed steel that had rebounded under strain.
In dry dock, the scale of reinforcement became clear as panels were removed and examined.
Reinforcement ribs were strengthened, preparing the structure for forces few ships ever encounter.
Marine scientists mapped the suspected underwater slope where displaced sediment likely triggered the surge. Fresh sediment scars confirmed rapid mass movement deep below the tranquil surface. Training institutions incorporated the incident, transforming survival into a lesson for future navigators.
Enhanced monitoring systems scanned continuously, tuned to detect subtle displacement signatures earlier.
The horizon lay flat once more, serene and unassuming beneath clear sky.
Yet those who saw it rise understood that even a trusted horizon can change without warning.
Continuous data streams now scanned beneath the surface, watching for disturbances invisible to the human eye.
Subtle vibrations from the deep were tracked in real time, each fluctuation measured against new thresholds.
The vessel moved forward again, cutting through water that appeared no different than before.
New travelers laughed along the rails, unaware of the precise coordinates where the sea once stood upright.
Below deck, reinforced systems operated within comfortable margins, engineered resilience quietly restored.
Scientists continued modeling underwater slopes, refining maps of regions where energy could concentrate.
The geometry of the seabed revealed how displacement energy may have funneled with unexpected intensity.
Simulators now reproduced the rare event,
training future crews to react within shrinking seconds.
Experience had sharpened vigilance, transforming memory into disciplined awareness. Under evening light, the sea appeared infinite and peaceful, concealing the power it holds below. Calm returned not as certainty, but as a reminder of how quickly stability can dissolve.
The horizon remained a thin, trusted line, separating sky from water.
Yet beneath that line, forces beyond sight continue shaping a world rarely understood.
In open water, scale humbles steel and confidence alike, reminding us who truly commands the sea.
And somewhere beyond sight, the possibility remains that the horizon could rise again.
At sunrise, the sea offered no sign that it had once defied every expectation placed upon it. Routine returned to the bridge, yet heightened awareness remained embedded in every quiet decision.
Shipping routes were reviewed, certain deep water ridges now monitored with renewed caution.
Beneath polished paint, strengthened steel carried the memory of stress it had narrowly survived.
Lessons from that afternoon were documented carefully, ensuring reaction would be faster next time.
Additional monitoring buoys now listened constantly for deep pulses rising from unseen slopes.
Below the surface, sensors waited for vibrations too subtle for human perception. Computational models were refined, accounting for rare amplification corridors once considered negligible.
The future captains trained within recreated scenarios, practicing alignment against towering virtual seas.
Even under peaceful skies, the memory of vertical water remained quietly present.
Those who witnessed the rising horizon carried a permanent shift in perspective.
Scale returned as a reminder that human engineering occupies only a fraction of the sea.
Under moonlight, the ocean seemed gentle again, disguising the complex terrain hidden far below. The horizon appears constant, yet it is merely a line drawn by perception. And somewhere beyond sight, the forces that once lifted the sea continue shaping tomorrow's unknown.
With systems stabilized and routes adjusted, the vessel sailed forward under quiet vigilance.
Experience had replaced assumption, turning confidence into something more disciplined and measured.
Life aboard resumed its rhythm, as if the sea had never rewritten the horizon. Far from the ship, researchers watched the deep in real time, seeking patterns within subtle movement.
The mapped seabed revealed channels capable of guiding energy with surprising precision.
Structural reinforcements stood ready, engineered for forces once considered statistically remote.
The event became a reference point, teaching that rarity never guarantees immunity.
Calm seas returned repeatedly, reinforcing how deceptive stability can appear. The horizon remained unchanged, a simple boundary between expectation and reality. New journeys unfolded above waters whose history few fully understood.
Through every quiet watch, sensors listened for disturbances beyond human sight.
Across remote corridors, instruments waited patiently for signals rising from below. Far beneath the surface, pressure and gravity continue reshaping the seabed in silence. In vast open water, human structures remain temporary visitors within an older domain. And though the line ahead looks calm and certain, the sea will always keep the final word. Each new morning over open water carries a quiet reminder of forces unseen beneath the surface. Navigation became more deliberate. Every minor adjustment weighed against hard-earned experience. Detection systems were tuned to notice subtleties once dismissed as harmless interference. Strengthened steel now met the water with quiet resilience, shaped by stress and survival. Rehearsed movement replaced chaos, ensuring speed and clarity should seconds ever shrink again. Monitoring networks expanded into remote ridges where displacement might concentrate unexpectedly. Instruments anchored themselves in darkness, prepared to record tremors beyond ordinary perception. Future officers examined the image that once seemed impossible beneath a clear sky. The sea again projected calm, a surface narrative that rarely tells the full story. Quiet vigilance became routine, transforming memory into disciplined awareness. Perspective restores humility, reminding us how narrow our margin can truly be. The boundary between sky and sea appears fixed, yet it rests upon shifting foundations.
For most on board, the voyage is leisure, unaware of the ocean's deeper geometry.
Beneath that tranquil blue, tectonic slopes and gravity continue their silent negotiation. And while the horizon looks eternal and calm, its stillness is never guaranteed. Every voyage now begins with a quiet understanding that certainty on open water is conditional.
Redundant sensors track pressure, motion, and distant vibration in continuous silent calculation.
Strength alone is never enough. Awareness remains the true safeguard at sea.
Human eyes still search the distance, knowing technology cannot replace instinct entirely.
Models continue evolving, attempting to predict the rare moments when deep water rises vertically.
Far below, gravity shapes landscapes that can redirect immense force without warning.
Training now assumes the unlikely, compressing decision-making into seconds of practiced response. Most days, the sea remains loyal to expectation, offering only rolling patterns of light.
Mechanical systems stand ready, designed to absorb forces beyond ordinary storm encounters.
In darkness, vigilance deepens, every anomaly examined without assumption. Across distant corridors, instruments wait patiently for tremors rising from the unseen. In silent depths, pressure and movement continue shaping tomorrow's surface. For travelers, the ocean is beauty. For those who know, it is also memory.
Scale reminds us that steel and confidence remain small against planetary forces.
And though the line ahead appears unwavering, the ocean will always retain the power to lift it. Even after everything, the ocean resumes its familiar rhythm, as though nothing extraordinary occurred.
Data flows constantly now, every fluctuation measured against lessons carved into memory.
Certain deep-water corridors remain flagged, their geometry capable of guiding unseen energy.
New voyages unfold above waters whose complexity most will never perceive.
Beneath polished decks, strengthened frameworks wait silently for stresses that may never come.
Monitoring networks continue expanding into remote regions where displacement may begin. Far below, gravity and sediment interact without spectacle, shaping events long before they surface.
Students study the improbable image that redefined assumptions about deep water safety.
Calm light can conceal the memory of towering water that once erased the horizon. Every quiet shift now carries an undercurrent of disciplined attention. Instruments drift in darkness, listening for movements too distant for sight. Pressure builds and releases far below, indifferent to the ships above. Perspective restores humility, reminding us how small certainty truly is. The boundary appears permanent, yet it rests upon forces constantly in motion. And though today the horizon lies flat and calm, the ocean will always decide when it rises. Another sunrise stretches across open water, serene and indistinguishable from countless ordinary days. Routine inspections now carry deeper meaning, shaped by experience rather than assumption. Each flat line on the screen represents quiet confirmation that nothing is rising below. The vessel advances confidently, its steel memory hidden beneath polished paint. Practice transforms panic into procedure, compressing reaction into disciplined motion.
Scientists continue mapping slopes where gravity might redirect energy without warning.
The seabed's architecture quietly determines how water can be forced upward.
Most evenings, the ocean offers only beauty and reflection.
In darkness, vigilance remains steady, attentive to the smallest irregular return. Distributed sensors wait patiently across distant corridors of deep water. Below the surface, forces continue shaping slopes unseen by those above. To most travelers, the horizon remains a symbol of calm escape.
Scale reminds us how narrow the margin can be between routine and revelation. The line appears stable, yet it rests upon a dynamic foundation of motion. And while the sea lies quiet today, its power to reshape the horizon never disappears.
Calm conditions reinforce trust, yet the memory of vertical water lingers beneath routine.
Continuous surveillance now watches the deep with quiet persistence.
Strengthened steel carries lessons written in stress and survival.
Mechanical systems hum reliably, prepared for forces beyond ordinary forecasts.
Offshore sensors stream real-time signals from remote underwater corridors.
Gravity continues shaping unseen terrain that can redirect immense energy upward.
Future navigators learn that rarity never equals impossibility at sea.
Evening light restores beauty to waters once transformed into towering walls.
Vigilance endures long after headlines fade and voyages resume. Across distant regions, instruments wait for vibrations rising from below.
Pressure and sediment shift silently, indifferent to surface calm.
For many, the ocean remains a place of wonder, rather than warning.
Perspective humbles confidence, reminding us how small certainty truly is. The horizon appears eternal, yet it rests upon moving foundations.
And though today the sea lies flat and silent,
its power to lift the horizon remains.
The voyage continues across waters that appear predictable and endlessly calm.
Experience now shapes interpretation, ensuring subtle distortions are never dismissed too quickly.
Flat readings provide reassurance, though memory reminds them how quickly that can change. Strength and preparation move forward together across the open sea.
Stabilization systems stand ready, calibrated for forces once thought improbable.
Scientists refine predictive models, narrowing the gap between assumption and reality.
In darkness, geological contours guide energy with silent precision. Training now compresses decisions into seconds of controlled response. Most evenings offer only calm reflection instead of rising water. Each quiet shift carries awareness, sharpened by lived experience.
Remote instruments listen for tremors too distant for human senses.
Beneath the surface, unseen forces continue shaping tomorrow's sea.
To most aboard, the ocean remains a canvas of beauty and escape.
Scale restores humility, reminding all how narrow margins can be.
And even when the line ahead appears unshakable, the ocean keeps the power to lift it.